We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Hey man, you sound a little sick. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I accidentally slept in. Well, I was up past 1, and then I got up at 2:30 and forged something.
Oh, why?
I don't know, just one of those nights. Hey, do you like or have you ever seen any of the Marx Brothers movies?
The Marx Brothers. The name sounds familiar. What have they done?
So they did Duck Soup, Animal Crackers, A Day at the Races, A Night at the Opera. They were basically a vaudeville uh, group of brothers who broke into movies and they did just some groundbreaking absurdist comedy work.
Yeah,
I know you've seen Groucho Marx. He has like the thick mustache and bushy
yeah,
eyebrows and glasses. He's who Bugs Bunny was based on. And then you've got Harpo Marx, which is, never talks, but he just
yeah.
kind of whistles and gestures. And there's Chico. Those are the main three. And then there were actually two others. Zeppo was in several movies as the straight man, but was never as popular as the others. And Gummo, I don't even know if he was in movies, but uh, they they're really good. They're really good movies, and I've seen probably 7 of them, so about half. And sometimes they're in Criterion.
Yeah.
Um, but the reason I bring it up is I wanted to tell a quick story and ask a quick question.
Okay.
Last night, right before Chloe goes to bed, we'll show her an episode of I Love Lucy. And for this season of I Love Lucy, I think it's 4, they're in Hollywood for a lot of the season. And so there's a lot of cameos, uh, you know, John
Yeah.
Wayne, William Holden, Van Johnson, Rock Hudson, but in this one they had Harpo Marx. And so it really gave a cool opportunity for Lucy and Harpo to do some great side gags together. They did what is a gag that's from one of their features, which is the mirror gag, where basically Lucy's pretending to be the mirror version of him, and so they have to exactly mimic each other's moves. It's incredible. But I the reason I bring it up is at one point, you know, Harpo is just this madcap, over the top zany guy. One of his gags is that he chases women. And at one point, he picks up Lucy's friend, Carolyn Appleby, and just puts him over his shoulder, and it's funny. Like he just, she's like, "Oh, stop!" And he's just like, "Ha ha ha!" And but for
Wait, how
some
does he sound?
reason, you know what, Sam? Let's just forget it. For some reason, um, Chloe got really disturbed by it. And when he picked her up and he was like carrying her off, she was like, she kind of covered her face and she's like, I don't like that, and started to kind of whimper. And I was like, no, I was explaining it to her, like, they're just being silly, it's no big deal. And then, like, it was really stuck with her, and she was almost like watching it between her eyes after that. And she was like, where did Carolyn go? Like, she was just like, really, like, something about it, like, disturbed her. And I
Yeah.
could kind of understand it. He's kind of like a clown, like, character, and he's doing all of this stuff that doesn't make sense. But I've never noticed her get scared in anything we've
Yeah.
watched before. And it made
Dude,
me want to wonder, like, can you remember some of the first times you got scared by something in a movie?
well, first of all, this is her weapons. This episode needs to be called "Do Not Watch I Love Lucy" and then the episode name.
That's
So,
hilarious.
dude, you need to. That's if she got scared of it, you can't let her watch that.
Oh, that's very funny, dude. That's very funny. Okay, I won't let her watch any more Harpo Marx. You got a deal.
um, yeah, I got really scared of the movie Small Soldiers. You remember that?
Oh, wow, yeah. That's
That
interesting.
that movie is terrifying.
That kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that movie is really, really, really scary. I mean, I don't know. I maybe because my parents thought that they're toys. Maybe they didn't
Yeah,
think so much that it was.
right.
I'll go a step further, man. I think it's more creepy than, like, let's say, Gremlins or something.
Okay. Well, there's something uncanny about it too, oh, that's like it's animated, right?
It's animated, but the toys look
Is
real,
it
like they look
CGI
so.
or is it stop motion?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it that far to tell you, but they look very real.
Yeah,
They did a really good job. If whether it was stop motion or animation, CGI or whatever it was.
maybe
Uh,
it just felt real to you at the time if you looked at it since.
oh yeah, I have, and it's still creepy.
Mm,
I I
yeah,
mean I would even consider it as a Halloween movie because of how creepy it is.
yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, did Chloe wake up in the middle of the night?
She did, but she didn't get out of bed, thankfully. Um, she did cry out. That was the 4:30 one. And I just went in there and she had some dream apparently, so she was saying, I don't want to, say goodnight to my friends. Like a lot of times she'll get upset when we have to put her to bed when we have friends over. That wasn't the case tonight, but I guess she was dreaming that.
Oh
But I
man,
never say like, "Did you have a bad dream?" because I don't want to like I don't want to create that paradigm. It's like, oh, everything's okay.
well, I mean, I hope as long as she's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's great.
I so I had the race yesterday. It was my body is freaking in pain, but yeah, it
That
was a
was
lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and if you didn't stay to the end of yesterday's episode, you missed out because we had a little treat there. Uh, so
Yeah,
go back and
just
check it
a little short treat for all you who stayed through the credits. It's an end credit scene, basically.
out. That it actually sets up uh, a new spin-off series
Oh,
of sequels.
last night, me and Vanessa, we watched Jeepers Creepers 2.
Oh
Um,
yeah, because I was gonna ask about that. You got me curious when you brought it up. Uh, like how many of those are there?
I think there's like three, maybe another one that's like just like a Jeepers Creepers and then another name, another title. But
Okay,
I've only seen the first two because those are the two that are, I guess, the more. I don't. I
credible.
guess, yeah. Dude, I'm in the minority. I think that Jeepers Creepers 2 is a lot better than Jeepers Creepers 1. Although I
Wow,
do think it is a little bit too long. I think it's better, man. I think it also has one of my favorite opening scenes in a horror movie.
really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It has one of my favorite scenes. And it takes place in a cornfield. Um, I,
Wow.
yeah, I think that scene is not talked about enough because it's pretty creepy, man.
Hmm.
But yeah, I watched that one. Really enjoyed it. And then, dude, the one I wanted to talk to you about today was: have you seen Mr. Brooks?
Yes, I have seen Mr. Brooks. Actually, my landlord screened that for me.
So let me tell you a little story. All right, this
Okay.
movie came out back in like 2007, 8, around there, around that time.
Yeah.
I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I remember my dad renting it from
Yeah.
Blockbuster, and
Yeah.
the cover, those Blockbuster covers, like at the
Uh-huh.
it showed the movie cover, but at the bottom, some of them had a Blockbuster logo. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Well, it had that, like I remember looking at that, seeing that, and then him getting it because I was with him, and I'm like, oh, that seems cool. I was so excited because of Kevin Costner, right? My dad was a
Yeah.
big Kevin Costner fan. Well, he didn't let me watch it.
Yeah, good idea, Dad, because it's got some pretty graphic content.
Yeah, he didn't let me watch that movie. Um, and I remember it being a new release, and I
Uh-huh.
remember the next day somehow I was able to grab it, and I ended up watching it like late at night in my room.
Hmm.
And look, the movie is not great, and I really think that it doesn't know what it wants to be, right? Like
Hmm.
one scene, it's like it wants to take itself seriously, and then the other scene, it's like really campy, right?
Yeah,
Really
that's
dark.
right. Hmm.
It reminded me of what you said with Holland, where
Oh, shit.
on the surface level, yeah, it's enjoyable, but then they get into these scenes that they're wanting to be deeper and they want to address like different things, right?
Yeah.
This is that movie. It it's best when it's on the surface, and I don't think it's as smart as it thinks it is, right?
That's actually pretty funny because look, I it's a movie about addiction, but it's about being addicted to serial killing. And
Yeah,
so it has some of the elements of a movie that about addiction that would be compelling, but then you
yeah,
just keep snapping out of it and being like, wait a minute, this is about a serial killer. Like, and so it's a little bit harder to like, but it does make me think of something because I was thinking recently, I keep trying to figure out why I like gambler movies so much. And I thought finally, as a theory, that it's because I don't really have a gambling problem. I mean, I can imagine that world for myself. Uh, like I have some of the same instincts as people that becomes a problem for. But I was it makes me think that not having the problem that the movie is depicting can help you to kind of engage with it in a way you wouldn't if it was portraying your particular problem.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, man, and I think you said it perfectly when you were talking about Holland. There's just a lot of things that it's trying to do, and yet it's trying to be two different kinds of movies, right? It's trying to be a
Uh-huh.
movie about addiction, right? And oh, by the way, William Hurt, Kevin Costner, they look like they're having a whole lot of fun. I'm sure they did. Uh,
William
and
Hurt was really good.
yeah, I thought they were both great. Um, but I just don't think the movie as a whole works. And I think Dane Cook is horribly miscast. Demi Moore was okay. And I was surprised. I was looking at some trivia, and apparently Kevin Costner, when he read the script, he said that this was one of the best scripts he's ever read, right? And I was just like what? Like what script did he read? Was it the same one? Did they change it? Like what happened there?
And this is the guy that resurrected Dances with Wolves from the trash can.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then yeah, there's just so many ideas and so many things that are brought up, and they just really don't go anywhere. And then another thing I saw on the trivia was that apparently was supposed to be a trilogy, and that makes
Right.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense because there's a lot of things that are open ended, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot where you could see like something like the Demi Moore subplot. It was kind of undercooked, but you could see like if it was something like if this was a TV show, it would make perfect sense. Like that this would be something that was ongoing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just it's a mess of a movie, and yet I was entertained by it.
Yeah,
Um,
it is pretty entertaining. We had a good screener night, over at the guest house with him and the families, and so that was kind of fun.
I would give it like a 2.5, maybe. It's not one that I can recommend, but it's also not one that I flat out hate, you know?
It
Um,
feels something because it's actually doesn't seem like it's something that's really well known, uh, and that gives it a kind of appeal.
yeah, it's kind of like one of those. I don't want to call it a gem, but it's just one of those movies that came and went, right?
Yeah,
And I was looking at some critic reviews, and I mean, like, well-known critics liked it. I mean, Peter Travers gave it like a good score. I think it holds like somewhere in the 50s. So it's not a full-on hated movie. I just think it's kind of mixed for a lot of people. Let me.
yeah, and in fact, yeah, like I said, my landlord, he really had like a soft spot for it, and he wanted to show it to us, because he had like I think it felt like something like that they saw and enjoyed one night, and then it just kind of stayed as a kind of a cool thing in their memory.
Yeah, and I think that Kevin Costner was perfect for this role because he
Really?
just. I thought so because he you wouldn't think of him playing a role as a serial killer, you know?
Yeah, actually, neither of the leads you would think to play the role they were playing.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. And so, yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were having fun. I'm not going to tell you, hey, audience, go watch this movie, but if you see it, hey, it might give you some entertainment. Um, but hey, dude, I just arrived here at work, but I guess I'll talk to you a little bit later.
See where